The mission, Body Harvest, is a reference to an earlier Rockstar game. More specifically, it's a reference to a game with the same name by DMA Design. DMA Design would later become Rockstar North, so it is interesting to see them reference their old roots. There is even a moment in Body Harvest where the player could get a combined harvester from a farmer to shred some zombies. Of course, CJ's version is bloodier compared to the green blood seen in the N64 title. GTA San Andreas is number 1 in terms of the sheer number of storyline missions at 100 playable missions, 101 if you count the introduction. By comparison, GTA 5 boasts 69 storyline missions, not counting alternatives. It's one of the reasons GTA San Andreas feels so big. Having a big map helps, especially since it allows missions to be sprinkled throughout it. No other GTA game allows the player to go into debt, but GTA San Andreas does. This can only happen in Las Venturas when the player gambles away their entire savings. The casino will loan out some money to the player, but if the player walks away after failing to make a profit, then their money count will be red with a minus sign in the front. The closer it is to 0, the closer the player is to paying off their debt. Eventually, GTA San Andreas players will get some phone calls from a mysterious character warning them to pay their debt. The goons they send after the player drop a ton of money, meaning that even the most hardcore debts can be paid off fairly quickly. OG lock clothes go from $200 to $15 after the cutthroat business mission. GTA San Andreas has some amazing attention to detail, with a prime example being the price tags of OG Locks and Mad Dog's clothing lines. After the mission Cutthroat Business, the price tags for both OG Locks and Mad Dog's clothing lines change drastically. In the former's case, OG Locks merchandise drops by 90%, which makes sense given how his career is in shambles by this point. The opposite also holds true, as Mad Dog's merchandise becomes 10 times more expensive after this mission, which makes sense given that his career is revived. It's an incredibly minor detail that most GTA San Andreas players will miss. GTA San Andreas players are aware that some important characters can swim when they follow CJ around in a mission. But they're not the only characters who can do so. Normally, most NPCs drown when they fall into a deep body of water, but there is an exception. Beach-themed NPCs are able to swim. They're not normally found in water, but if a player provokes one of these NPCs into a body of water, they will find that they're capable of swimming. Ambulances in GTA San Andreas are notorious for killing more people while trying to save the life of a single guy, who I bet would die anyways considering how they drive around. But for our guy CJ here, San Andreas has a lot of side jobs, including driving around as paramedics to get the patients back to the hospital. And if you manage to complete all the paramedic missions, your health will increase to max, without having to use any cheat codes. Awesome, isn't it? Finishing the side jobs can be boring most of the time, and we just end up messing around with the police to have fun instead. But finishing all of the police side job missions will actually increase your armor from 100 to 150%. But if you want a real superpower, you should definitely finish the fireman missions, because finishing these firefighter missions will make CJ immune to fire. Wasn't that always your dream, eh? Did you know about the abandoned dock? As most of the San Andreas players know, the San Andreas desert is huge. The desert is called Bone County, and it consists of villages, mountains, towns, trees, and hills. The base of Area 69, a reference to the Area 51 conspiracy, highways, abandoned roads, or abandoned airport. There is an abandoned dock in Bone County that is almost always submerged in water depending on the tides. Basketball courts can be found in almost Grand Theft Auto, but you can only play it in San Andreas. There is a minigame called Basketball Challenge in which you can score points. Points can be scored by throwing the ball into the hoop. The interesting thing about this is that you can do some tricks in the minigame like spinning the ball on CJ's finger, and you can also do slam dunks by getting close to the basketball hoop. There are government vehicles in San Andreas, just like every GTA game. There are some facts concerning the use of these vehicles, besides the obvious making space for you with the sirens on. For example, if you go to the garage with a police car, the barrier will automatically open, and also the gate to the underground parking garages in most of the buildings. As for the ambulances, after you enter one of these, your health points will recover by 20. There are several types of fish in GTA San Andreas, and when the player finds himself in the water, fish randomly appear near the player. There is a glitch that causes the fish to float above the water. This happens when you try to attack the fish with a rocket launcher. This can actually be done with any other explosive weapons too. You just need to spam launch the explosives while your head and hands are above the water. However, this glitch only appears in PS2. Ghost cars are classified as a secret that some players might have bumped into at one point in their playthrough. The intention of these secret vehicles is to give the player a method of transport in case they get lost in the numerous countryside locations in GTA San Andreas, like Baco Beyond and Angel Pine Junkyard and whatnot. Ghost cars are often referred to as beater cars. This secret Easter egg does not refer to the usual wild antics that GTA San Andreas cops find themselves in. Instead, it focuses on a particular location underground, more specifically in the impound underneath the Los Santos Police Department. There, the player will see one cop punching a random pedestrian and another cop watching with a pistol out. I guess Tenpenny isn't the only corrupt cop in the game, eh? Most GTA San Andreas players are aware of the Easter egg involving a player pulling off a sniper rifle and then shooting the moon to change its size. But a lot of players, especially those who haven't played any GTA games before, still don't know about this. And even though this Easter egg has been in other GTA games, such as GTA Vice City, it still remains to be a neat little thing that the player can do anytime they see the moon appearing in the sky. The granddaddy of GTA San Andreas Easter eggs, this Easter egg is often compared to GTA Vice City's chocolate Easter egg near Vice City News. It's a simple sign at the top of the giant bridge that reads, "There are no Easter eggs up here. Go away." It's a simple Easter egg, but it is undoubtedly the most famous one in GTA San Andreas. The GTA franchise was launched in 1997. This date is engraved on a stone with the words "RIP Opposition 1997 to 2004" in the cemetery made in honor of GTA San Andreas' fallen soldiers. The crux of this Easter egg is actually not as complicated as many fans think it is, since it is supposed to be a joke, not necessarily a conspiracy theory. In the mission Just Business in GTA San Andreas, the player is tasked to save Big Smoke from the Russians. The building where Big Smoke was held actually hosts 5 statues, and if you have ever paid attention to these, you would be shocked to see that one of the statues seems to be, well, doing something with his hands, while the others wear unforgettable expressions of horror and disgust, which is totally hilarious. While San Andreas isn't known for being haunted, the next detail about the game might make you want to reconsider this. Between 8 p.m. to 6 a.m., mysterious graffiti appears on the cemetery walls of Los Santos that disappears in daylight and never graces any other part of GTA San Andreas. The graffiti forms the words, "Families for Life." Could it be CJ's long-lost brother Brian behind it? The picture of Carcer Church in GTA San Andreas can be spotted in Architecture Espionage's mission. This building made an appearance in the game Manhunt on level Drunk Driving. Furthermore, Starkweather Estate's blueprints and a map of the level Key Personnel in the same game can also be found in Architectural Espionage. Just do what you want with this piece of information. While GTA games are often filled with Easter eggs, this is perhaps the most popular Easter egg in existence, since it also made an appearance in GTA 3 and Vice City. When the player looks up at the sky at night, a constellation shaped like the Rockstar Games logo can be seen glittering among the stars over the city of San Andreas. A cool little secret that not many people know, but definitely one of the coolest ones of these 20 awesome GTA San Andreas secrets.
Super players.